Did one of Colin Cowherd's producers slip up and is probably fired today? Oh, supporting Dak Prescott? Hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods. How are you doing on this Saturday? We have the Senior Bowl today. We'll be live streaming it, and don't forget to join in. If you are a channel member, you'll be able to be in on the call. We can discuss what's going on with the Cowboys. The Cowboys are looking at offensive coordinators, making some changes and so on. And we will be definitely talking and getting your input from it as well. You know, it's kind of funny because what they do to us, I can clearly remember saying this exact same thing last year. Cowboys losing the playoffs. They tell us how we are literally a national disgrace. Everything that we have sucks. We are the scum of the earth. We'll go through free agency where, you know, Jerry Jones is a penny pincher. He has his philosophy. They'll tell us we don't care about winning. We don't care about winning. We stink. We won't try and get better. We don't have the talent. But amazingly, by the time the season gets here, all of a sudden, we are the most talented team in football. We're a Super Bowl favorite, and anything less than a Super Bowl is unacceptable. And we buy in. And then we go through, well, Dak Prescott, you know, he's a dink and dunker. He's a garbage time quarterback, okay? You know, he only gets yards in garbage time. Can't beat playoff teams. You know, they always come up with something. So now it's the interceptions. Now, next year, Dak Prescott takes care of the interceptions. Well, they'll find some other, you know, crazy statistic, because every statistic that they've come, every knock they've had on Dak Prescott, he has actually gotten rid of. And Dak Prescott haters, come on, bring it. Bring it to me. Bring it to, you know what? I've got broad shoulders and a big belly. I can take the weight. I can take all the hate that you got. Just bring it. Bring it. Calling all Dak Prescott haters. Come on, bring it. Bring it here. I'm a grown-ass man. I can take it. But you know what's funny is because I'm sitting here thinking about Get Up yesterday. And, you know, they talk about, well, Pat Mahomes, he lost his receivers, and, you know, he willed his team to win. And I said, you know, Pat Mahomes has a couple of things that, you know, Dak Prescott didn't have this year. Okay, and I know the haters, there he goes, trying to defend whack Dak. You know, somebody has to at least give you the truth. I said, Pat Mahomes has a great offensive line. An offensive genius, okay? Offensive genius. He took Alex Smith, who was a failure in San Francisco, coached that guy to multiple playoffs. And then he goes to Washington, and he goes back to being Alex Smith. That's where coaching helps. That's where coaching matters. He also has what I said, something that Dak Prescott ain't never had. And this Instagram meme last night was perfect. Just take a look at this. I'm sorry I can't blow it up bigger, but you know, you got The Rock there in wrestling. Look at that. Yeah, The Rock is the Bengals. And look who did. Oh, look at that. It's the referee. Are you kidding me? Oh, look at it again. Because it always seems like we have the officials going against us. So that's one of those other things that we can look at and say, yeah, Pat Mahomes has going for him. He's an elite quarterback because he even gets the referees to follow along. Wow. But be that as it may, I don't understand why people are so fixated only on the quarterback, okay? If you're saying that the quarterback needs to go, then you also need to go ahead and say the GM and owner need to go too. Because you're just being stupid if you don't realize that we took a team last year that failed in the playoffs, and instead of trying to make it better, we made it worse. We made it worse. You can't honestly look and say the team was better without Amari Cooper and Cedric Wilson, that we were better off having Noah Brown and T.Y. Hilton. You can't honestly say that that was a positive move to make you better. When the team's big free agent moves were James Washington, Ryan Null, T.Y. Hilton, Dante Fowler. That's it. That's the big moves that the Cowboys made in free agency. And they minused a lot of players. So to then turn around and say, hey, quarterback, we just get rid of that guy, we'll get even better. Well, I hate to tell you, that was the philosophy of getting rid of Amari Cooper and Cedric Wilson. We didn't get better. We didn't. The fact that we ended up with 12-5, 2 years back-to-back, is actually a miracle. But here's where it gets to be funny this morning, because I think somebody's got some splaining to do on the Colin Cowherd show, because I don't know if Colin didn't do his homework before the show and didn't know what was coming, or if somebody threw him a curveball because he really screwed the pooch. He looked surprised because, see, here's the thing. Now he's defending Russell Wilson and saying, it's just a one-year thing. Look at the body of work. Let's listen in to what Colin Cowherd had to say about this and how he ended up getting bitch slapped.
Like to Edward, hey, this is great for Russell Wilson. This is what he does. Remember, Breeze had a torn labrum. Everybody knew Breeze was healthy, but, Sean Payton took Breeze, talented guy, and made him into a, going to be a Hall of Fame guy. So I was thinking about this morning, is that there's people we like and there's people we don't like, and based on our preconceived beliefs about people, it's really hard for people to not have an agenda. I mean, you see it all day on the devices. So Russell Wilson is considered kind of internet cringy, Mr. Unlimited and all that stuff. Whatever.
Let's ride.
It doesn't bother me at all. Let's ride. It doesn't bother me, but I'm probably cringy. So, practicing high fives, there's that video, and it drives people crazy. So there's a lot of built-up negativity with Russell Wilson. And, it's fake, all this and stuff. All right, whatever. He's different. Who cares? It's just he's a very optimistic, very religious, optimistic person. People have said sometimes Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, it's over the top. People believe what they believe. So if you look at Russell Wilson, let's take this year out, the Denver year.
Okay, let's take this year out.
Previous 4 years in Seattle, and they were all about the same. He completed 66% of his throws, had a 4.5-to-1 touchdown-to-interception ratio, and a passer rating of 106.3. That is rarefied air.
Okay, let's stop right there. So here's his premise that Russell Wilson, new environment, different coaching, take a year out. We've seen Colin do that before, like at Carson Wentz when he was trying to say Carson Wentz is better than Dak. If you take out the rookie year, well, Dak Prescott played really good his rookie year. But he's saying that, you have a bad year from time to time, but look at the body of work. Look at what has preceded this, and you say, this guy might still be really good. Now, here's where it gets to be very, very interesting, okay? So, we're talking about Russell Wilson, a 66.5 completion percentage, 131 TDs to 31 interceptions, passer rating of 106.3. Go on.
So for 4 straight years, and then this crappy year. So I said, find 3 other quarterbacks who had, from 2018 to 2021, similar quarterback ratings. Elite stuff in all three categories.
So find 3 quarterbacks that have similar statistics. Elite. Let's back it up just a little bit and listen to them again. This is the parameters.
So I said find 3 other quarterbacks who had, from 2018 to 2021, similar quarterback ratings. Elite stuff in all three categories. So let's look at one of them. Dak Prescott. So now Russell had significantly more touchdown passes and a higher passer rating.
Remind you, by the way, let me say this much, okay? Dak Prescott was on fire in 2021 till he got hurt, in which case he missed 12 games. It's conceivable that he was on the pace to have 2 TDs a game. So you could have said maybe he has 24 more touchdown passes. He probably has some more interceptions as well. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. But the amazing thing is look at the other numbers. Completion percentage actually better. The touchdown to interception ratio 3-1. Passer rating 100. But go on.
But Dak was close. Okay, that Russell's better, but Dak was close. Dak, by the way, also had an offensive head coach, 2 of them. All right, so let's go to...
He had Kellen Moore. Okay, let's look at what other quarterbacks he puts in that same category.
Let's go to the next one. Well, Aaron's very good. Numbers are incredibly... almost identical.
What?
Almost identical. Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. Almost identical for a 4-year stretch. Well, seems to me as Aaron, 2 of those years he was MVP. All right, let's throw out one more. Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes with Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and the numbers were...
Wait a minute. Did he just say that Pat Mahomes had weapons? Is he actually saying the numbers for Pat Mahomes are inflated because of the weapon? Wait, let's back that up. Let's back it up a little bit. Okay.
Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
Almost identical for a 4-year stretch. Well, seems to me as Aaron, 2 of those years he was MVP.
MVP.
All right. Let's throw out one more. Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes with Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and the numbers were identical. So let me ask you.
Truth be told, he had a lot more touchdowns. He had more interceptions too, but a lot more touchdowns, 20 more. But go on.
If Mahomes, Dak, or Aaron Rodgers numbers plummeted like Russell's this year, would you think Mahomes is washed? Aaron's totally washed? Dak's, I'm not even a fan of Dak, totally washed?
But here's the thing about Dak. His numbers didn't plummet. He had one category, interceptions. Interceptions went up. The difference between what happened with Russell Wilson last year was they were one of the worst scoring offenses in football. They were awful. His numbers plummeted. Okay? Let me pull it up. Russell Wilson last year had 16 touchdown passes in 17 games with 11 interceptions and an 84. That is crashing and burning. Dak's numbers, yeah, he increased in interceptions. He missed 5 games because of a broken thumb that had a metal plate in it. That he came back and the team averaged 32 points a game. Let's finish this off.
So why do you think Russell is?
Finish him.
His numbers were even with a defensive coach and a horse crap offensive line. He didn't have an Aaron Jones in those 4 years. And no star running back. I like DJ Metcalf. It's not Devontae Adams. DK Metcalf. He's not Devontae Adams. You don't like Russell. You would never say Mahomes, Dak, and Aaron are totally washed. You'd say, Hackett was terrible. You just got to get that guy a quarterback or a head coach. Hackett was brutal. It's his teammates. It's the O-line. It's the receivers. Blame. It's the ownership. It's blame. With Russ, it's all Russ. You don't like him. He's not cool. Cool matters to a lot of young people. It's cringy. You do not go from those years with a defensive coach and a terrible O-line. A worse O-line than Mahomes, Dak, and Aaron Rodgers.
I might dispute on the O-line portion of it because we were 28th in pass blocking win rate. You don't look at the Cowboys' offensive line. But the funny thing is as he's saying that everybody's just blaming Russell Wilson because Russell Wilson's numbers did plummet. They did. The Dallas Cowboys didn't have Devontae Adams or Aaron Jones and guys like that. We had Noah Brown. We had Dennis Houston. We had an unretired T.Y. Hilton to go with the CeeDee Lamb. The reality is Colin Cowherd summed it all up. It doesn't matter what Dak Prescott does or who's to blame. You just don't like Dak. Just admit it. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line because Colin Cowherd just said, and to his chagrin, he got tricked. He didn't know that Dak Prescott was going to be one of the three. And he had to try and find some way to justify what he has said in the past about him. That he's a Corvette versus a Maserati to Carson Wentz. That Dak Prescott is a 4th-round draft pick. But here it is. You asked for elite numbers of 3 similar players to what Russell Wilson did before this year. And you get Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and Dak Prescott. And believe me, if there were others that were there, they would have put them up there. All right, good people. I hope you guys are having a great day. I have to say, before I get out of here, the internet is cool. The internet is so cool, but internet changes so quickly. And there's a lot of crap that's on the internet. Right now, YouTube, shout out to YouTube. They're offering new ways for people to be creative, with YouTube shorts and things like that. There's TikTok out there where people are doing, you have to understand this. Like if I were telling somebody, if people were asking me one of the tricks or things about YouTube, one of the things that's evolved, and you'll notice this even on television, is how TV shows immediately start playing the show before they do the intro. Have you noticed that? Because what we've learned because of TikTok, because of Instagram, because of Twitter, is our attention span is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Excuse me. You have 8 seconds to grab somebody's attention. 8 seconds, that's it. So intros, although it might be cool that you are seen with all of these famous people and all these great places, that 30-second or minute-long intro gives people 30 seconds or a minute to decide to go past it. It's changing the demographic. So you have to do things to grab somebody's attention immediately. Now I'm doing, I'm working on trying to lose some weight. I'm trying to eat better, cutting out the sodas and getting back away from the candy bars and stuff and cutting down on the big subs because I'll admit it. I put on too much weight. This is the heaviest, well, actually 4 days ago was the heaviest I'd ever been. And so I cannot continue to keep climbing the ladder up there. Diabetes will be an issue. Hell, my knees will be an issue from having to carry the extra weight, and so on. So I'm trying to eat better. But you see on TikTok, and this was the craziest thing I've ever seen, was people trying to cook. Now, there's some people, they're really, really good at showing you how to cook. Really, really good food. But then you've got shit. These people made like a McChicken burger lasagna that looked like the nastiest shit I've ever seen. And I'm sitting here looking at how much this thing must have cost. That literally, I could have had you about 5 pounds of shrimp and prime rib for what this thing was. And I understand why you did it for, people do it for shock value and to get the views. But if you're cooking and eating like that, no wonder we are in trouble as a society. It's some of the worst stuff I've ever seen. And listen, the original person who broke a TV, yeah, gotcha. You were an innovator. All you other idiots out there that are now staging it, because here's what we all know. We always have a couple of different angles as you're watching it. And it's always a piece of junk TV because you bought yourself a new TV and you're using it as a prop. Okay? Enough with the fake juice. Enough with the fake juice. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day. We will be live streaming, like I said, for the Senior Bowl today, and we might even do it tomorrow for the Pro Bowl flag football game and get reactions to it. All right? Appreciate each and every one of you guys, and I'm overly excited because we finally have electricity at the Red Brick House. And if you want to follow along on there, definitely check out Joe Boo's Day Job. Peace.
Our Coach here, as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.
This one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about this, Cowboys?